Welcome back everybody, my name is Aethris and today we're playing Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today we're playing against a Terran player named Mizzy on Ulrena. And today we're going to go Skytoss, actually. Just about right out of the gate. Obviously you're not able to just immediately go Skytoss, but that will be my main focus. It'll be a 13 or 14 pylon. It right there on the edge. So either way, just however, first thing you want to do is drop a pylon. It's just going to be a pretty standard two base opener. I'll be going, like I said, pylon at 13 or 14. I'll be saving up 400 minerals. I'll be dropping my Nexus at 17 and Gateway, Cyber Core, and then into Stargate and Stargate. So there goes my Nexus. I'll also be dropping my Gateway as soon as I can. And then my next will be a simulator, and then I'll be focusing back on making probes and fully saturating this base. Now, this map in particular just sort of lends itself to sky battles, simply because you and your opponent, the fastest way to get to your opponent's main base is across the sky over that island, and you don't really want to be in that choke point where that Zelnaga tower is. So my second assimilator's down. My Gateway's just about down. I'll be dropping my Cybernetics core, and I'm just about fully saturated on my main base, and then I'll be working on getting fully saturated on my natural. Now, like I said, this map just sort of lends itself to sky battles, but at the same time, you know, just the natural thing is ground units first. So I wasn't sure if this was going to be any good. This is actually one of the first times I've used it. Well, this is the first time I've used it in a competitive match, as opposed to versus AI or practice and stuff like that. So my Cybernetics core is down. I'll be making my Mothership core as soon as I can. I see the first Reaper, which is it is completely standard to open up against the Reaper. That's kind of why I did the build the way I did. Usually my Mothership core is a wee bit faster so that I can deal with that as soon as he jumps in. But my Mothership core is out. He didn't actually kill anything. I was lucky enough to get out without any damage really. But once my Mothership core is out, I'll be dropping a Stargate, and I've got 7 probes already in my second base, and I'll just be working on fully saturating that. I've got 6 on the way to my second base. I've got Warp Gate coming. I've got an Adept coming out, and they do get a couple of kills there. My opponent has got 3 Reapers now, and I think they do get a couple of kills. But I've got my Mothership core, so the Photon Overcharge really completely takes care of it. There's no worries after Photon Overcharge. Once your Mothership core is out, that is the absolute best way to defend against early game aggression, whether it be Zerglings, Reapers, Zealots, Adepts, anything. As soon as my Stargate is open, I will be making an Oracle. Once the Oracle pops out, I'll go over the abilities. I mean, most people know what it is, but simply because it's the first time I've used it on a video, I'll just go through the unit. Sending my Adepts Shade just to go to the Zelnaga tower, and unfortunately I lose her simply because even though I was looking at her, when you fight her the Shade, she actually stops moving. So that was my bad. My Oracle's done. I've got 2 assimilators at my second base. Warp Gate's just about done, building a second Stargate, and as soon as my Oracle's done, I will be starting on Void Rays. And as soon as that Stargate is done, the same thing. I'll be working on Void Rays. I'm actually getting out a another Stalker, dropping out 4 pylons and another gateway. Just gonna pause it real quick. I'm gonna go over this, but you do not want to be supply blocked when you go Skytoss. These units are expensive. They take a lot of supply, and they're slow. I mean, it takes 43 seconds to warp in one of these. It takes 30 seconds from the gateway, the unupgraded gateway, for the Stalker. Once you've got a warp gate, it takes 5 seconds if you've got a super pylon. Now, so you do not want to be supply blocked. You want to make sure you always stay ahead of your supply. Now, the Oracle, real quick, it is a flying unit, and it goes off of energy. It's got 3 basic abilities. Revelation, which basically lets you see what your opponent sees, in that you can cast it on enemy units and you can see them for 43 seconds, and it also reveals any cloaked or burrowed units and structures. The next is a stasis ward. This is kind of like the Widow Mine, except for the fact that it doesn't actually damage anything. This is more of a area control. You want to drop this down, especially like this would be at a choke point. You'd want to say put a stasis ward if you know you don't have enough units just now, but you just need a wee bit more time. You can drop a stasis ward here, and then when they come up here, they'll be frozen for 21 seconds. Now, you can't attack them while they're frozen, but that's not a big deal. Third is the pulsar beam, which charges the Oracle's pulsar beam and allows it to actually attack ground units. It cannot attack unless this is active, and it's not automatically active. Once you activate it, it drains your power, whether you're shooting something or not, if I'm not mistaken. That's usually the main that is usually the main ability of anybody that uses an Oracle. I'm just going to go ahead and start it. I'm going to change back to player camera. I'm going to go ahead. Now, I forget to turn this on, and I'm sitting there clicking. Why is it not working? Oh yeah, duh. I have to turn on the pulsar beam. Now, watch the kill count on this guy. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my my mouse. But 21 kills, 21 probe kills. That's amazing. That's my new favorite unit, I think. But with one Oracle, I effectively shut down his entire main base, simply because he doesn't have any unit or any probe to do anything. Now, this will work a lot better, I believe, on Protoss and Zerg, simply because the Terran unit now can just drop, 6 mules. Which, I mean, he is going to have to replace, he will eventually have to make more SCVs, but for the time being, he can just drop a bunch of mules and keep up with his unit production and mineral collection. Having said that, 21 SCVs is hard to come back from. Now, at the same time, while I'm doing this, I'm constantly making more Void Rays. I'm dropping another Stargate, dropping another 3 gateways, and those gateways are simply for, should he move out, I've got enough, adepts, stalkers, zealots, whatever, to deal with his ground army while I'm making my Void Ray, my mass Void Rays. Once my third is down, once my third Stargate is down, I'll immediately start my Void Ray production. I am actually making one more Oracle because I'm planning on going back and attacking again, harassing again. But you can see from their supply is not very good as far as his supply count, but actually his mineral mineral collection stuff is not doing very great. You can tell that he doesn't have his all of his SCVs. I think my dog's chasing something in his dreams. So I've got my second Oracle. I've got constantly got 3 Void Rays all the time in production. I want as many Void Rays as I possibly can. Flooding minerals a wee bit. Running out of minerals in my main base. I'm going to drop another Nexus and 2 pylons in my third. Both assimilators because I don't want to run out of Vespene gas. And I'll be running, sort of scouting with the Oracles. Just seeing what he's got. And I'm planning on going in, but I see he's got a turret, which is natural simply because, I wrecked him a minute ago. So I'm just going to go to his other one. I'm just going to be sort of running around, scouting around, seeing what I can do, seeing what damage I can do. I see that he is he's got full production, but he's got all of his Marines, and I'll lose the player of the game. That's the true MVP right there. But I'm gonna drop it down to units. You can see I've got 11 Void Rays, 5 Adepts, which don't matter. Mothership Core again doesn't matter, and Stalker. You can see he's back up to 33 SCVs, which is what a lot of his what a lot of his minerals went, instead of going to maybe doubling this Marine count, which is good for me. Back to production. I've got a 4th Stargate going down. Again, at the whole game, once I've got my Stargates, I am constantly making Void Rays. I want 15 Void Rays, 15 to 20 Void Rays. But I'm moving in. I'm going to take these guys out. I just straight up engage his Marine army, simply because there's nothing he can do. He activates Stem Pack, which helps me more than it helps him, and I clean his army up. I think I lost three or four Void Rays there, but he's not got anything else, and that decides the game right there. But really, what I think was obviously the major turning point was losing 21 SCVs for him, and perhaps this player wasn't on their game. Maybe they were not focused or something like that. But I'm really happy with the way this Skytoss went, and I will definitely be using this build a lot more often. If you've got any suggestions for making this perhaps a wee bit more streamlined, or if I can add something, make it better. I didn't upgrade anything at all. I don't think I really needed it in this particular game, but like I said, if you've got any suggestions, just leave them down below. I'll leave the build order down, and if you like it, use it. Click that like button, share it, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a happy Christmas, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.